is Venom Player here to go through, and today I just want to go through and kind of explain one of my favorite teams I have in the game today, and that's gonna be this CLS squad here. Um, I'll yeah, so we'll go through this again. I just went to go edit this video to find out my headphones were off, and we have not had any sound this whole time coming through on the microphone. So yeah, well, practice makes perfect, right, guys? So start out. So this is a CLS squad. Commander Luke Skywalker is the leader. It's named after him because he's kind of like the big thing that holds it together. And then there's a couple of key characters that really make this team run. So to start out, we're just going to go through, we're going to break down the kit. I'm going to break down the modding for each character, um, what this team's strengths and what their weaknesses are, and go from there. 4 a.m. really gets you, doesn't it? So this is CLS, Commander Luke Skywalker, as I said. To start off, we're going to start with his leader ability, which is he gives Rebel allies 50% counter chance, 50% defense, and 15% offense whenever they resist an effect or detrimental effect, or as we call them, debuffs. All Rebel allies gain 5% turn meter, right? Um, so Learn Control is his first unique. If he doesn't have Call to Action, he's going to have 50% counter chance, 50% critical avoidance, 50% defense, 100% tenacity, and gains 10% turn meter whenever another rebel ally takes damage. And that is very important. We'll get to why here in just a minute. He does have 40% potency. When he resists a detrimental effect, he gains 5% health and protection, or recovers it, I should say, doesn't gain. Big difference there in terms of wording. Whenever Luke inflicts a debuff, he himself gains 10% turn meter, and other allies gain half that amount. So that all right there is really important for understanding why these abilities up here are good, right? So it binds all things, works really well with this Destined Strike because he's inflicting speed down and defense down on the first hit of any enemy, and that's going to give him 20% turn meter. All right, just boop, 20% to his next turn. If they already had speed down, he's going to remove turn meter instead. And then if the target already had defense down, you're just going to stun them so they miss their next turn, right? Which is really, really powerful. That is his basic ability. So whenever he counterattacks, that is what he will use. And so with that, if he's hitting allies that already had the speed down, already had the defense down, he's just going to be stunning them or removing turn meter, or so that can get really bad. The next thing for his kit is that he has this deal physical damage to target enemy, dispel all buffs on them. That can be really, really big for a team that relies on buffs. He's going to remove 100% turn meter. He's going to inflict buff immunity, so now they can't gain buffs anymore. And tenacity down, right? So there's 2 more debuffs we see in his kit, which is going to give him another 20% turn meter, so 20% towards the next turn again. Reduce the cooldown of this ability by 1 if the target didn't have full health. Also, a big thing that we kind of skipped over pretty quickly is this remove 100% turn meter. That's really, really big because Commander Luke is a fairly fast character. And if he is the first one to go, to be able to take a turn, he essentially can stun another character by removing their turn meter, just setting it back to 0. All right, and then call to action. This is really the big piece of his kit, right? So he's going to dispel all buffs on himself, right? Really, really nice. He's going to gain 100% turn meter, so boop, just taking another turn again after this ability is used. He's going to heal, all right, so 40% health, 40% protection. really nice. If he doesn't have call to action, he gains it until next time this ability is used. He can ignore taunt, so now he can pick his targets. Wasn't like this like 10 minutes ago. He's gonna have 50% accuracy, so harder. It's gonna be harder for him to miss. He's gonna have 50% critical chance and critical damage, which is really nice for damage output. And this can't be dispelled or prevented. So all really nice things there. And that call to action really makes him an offensive character, right? So actually, we'll go back to him real quick. You can see my mods on Commander Luke over here. I really had kind of two targets with these mods here. Is you want speed, because you want him to be first character to go, if possible, and you want him to resist as many debuffs as possible if you turn meter to the allied team. When looking at speed, I have mine to almost 300, which is pretty solid. So going to the next most important character is going to be Han Solo, right? And of these five here, these two are the only ones that are going to be in that final, like, this is the team to use, right? Um, and his big thing just sits right here and shoot first. All right, he has 35% counter chance, really nice. So 85 if you count Luke's leader ability. So it's not very often he won't, attack back. He has 20% critical chance, which is nice in terms of damage output. The first time he uses a basic, he will hit again. It's going to deal a little less damage, but that's all right. He already deals a lot of damage, so to lose some is okay. But this right here is the big thing, right? He takes a bonus turn at the start of each encounter, which is important wording. So encounter is at the beginning of any match, right? Any round. So if you're in territory battles, you have wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4. At the beginning of each wave, he will get to take this bonus turn, right? So very important wording there. If it said at the beginning of each battle, that would be very different. But he can ignore taunt. He can only use his basic, but it will stun the target for one turn. And it can't be resisted. So the enemy will get stunned. They can't resist it, and oh, looks like the game kaputs. Right, he's gonna take 40% of Commander Luke's stats. He's gonna apply it to himself, and then from there, he is gonna give everyone else 20% of the Commander Luke of those stats. Right, he's gonna give half to everybody else, but it's gonna come down to be 20%. So that's Chupio right here, 3PO and Chewie. We call him Chupio. The nice thing too, icing on the cake, is down here. Blinded enemies, they have less tenacity and they can attack out of turn. Right? Chewie's Rage, really nice for some damage output after you've killed a few bad guys. Throw the blind on them, recover some protection, gain advantage, so guaranteed to critically hit. You're going to dispel all debuffs on himself, but also dispel all buffs on the enemies. Frantic Shot, just going to inflict evasion down. Right? Pretty nice. He's going to use that quite a bit. Um, and every time a rebel ally uses an ability, he will assist. And that is very important for later on, so please don't forget. 3PO and Chewie, personally, I'm on them. Offense, you could go speed. But yeah, I just like offense since he's constantly attacking out of turn, right? So, and then here is where we're going to add Chewbacca. And Chewbacca is really kind of what's going to bring this whole team together. So, Loyal Friend is. Yeah. Create the whole other video without doing this. Crazy. Um, but Loyal Friend here is what is going to do this, right? So at the start battle, grant guard to the weakest Han Solo and uh, weakest ally and Han Solo. So what you want is you want CLS to be your weakest person. All right, so he'll gain the guarded, and then he'll assist all guarded allies whenever they use an ability during their turn, doing 20% less damage, limited once per turn. When he deals damage to an enemy, everybody recovers 3% health and 3% protection. If you're guarded, you can't be critically hit, immune to daze, immune to stun, and you get an extra critical chance. And then what really makes that effective, so that's the big ability that you need, but this is what makes it effective. It's none of this. This is icing on the cake. Can't be ability block. Can't have cooldown increase. That's nice. It's this right here. When he deals damage to an enemy, he deals bonus damage equal to 20% of their max health. Alright, every single hit he does, no matter what ability, whether it's his turn, anybody else's turn, whether he's assisting, 20% max health damage. Right? Which is really, really nice. And then when he does take damage, he's going to gain some extra offense and some extra critical chance till his next turn. When a guarded ally takes, or him or a guarded ally takes damage from attack, he's going to reduce the cooldown on this ability. This ability's nice. He's just come in, he's going to stun, can't be evaded, and if they don't have protection, he's going to reset the cooldown of this, which is dispels all buffs on all enemies and then deal physical damage to all enemies. Now, that doesn't sound very important until you realize that every time, like when he hits all enemies, every enemy will receive 20% max health damage, and that is really, really, really important. Overcharge shot, tenacity down, inflict, deal damage plus an additional 20% max health damage. So the big thing for him, I like him with some nice offense. I really want to put out some damage in addition to the 20% max health damage, but you could just as easily mod him for some health and some tenacity, right? And then lastly, once you get down here, so up here you already have these for the big addition is going to be C3PO. And the reason, oh, no, not that one. Sorry, Protocol Droid is why he's really, really good. Alright, so he's going to gain some extra speed. Alright. Whenever a Galactic Republic or Rebel, which is what the whole CLS squad is built around, uses a special ability, they gain a stack of translation for 3 turns. And what translation does is you gain 30% max health, 15% critical chance. Then if you have 3 stacks of it, if they use a basic ability, doesn't have to be their turn, just once per turn. If they use a basic ability, decreases character's cooldowns by 1, right? Which is really, really important for a couple of reasons. One, if we go back to 3PO and Chewie over here, right? What does he do? Whenever another rebel ally uses an ability, 3PO and Chewie are called to assist, dealing 30% less damage. Alright? Whenever they use an ability, whether they counterattack or anything, limited once per turn, but that's the big thing. So you'll be constantly reducing these abilities right here, which is absolutely huge for him. I don't think we actually broke that part of his kit down, but this is why we mod him for offense, particularly is Chewie's Rage, because he's going to deal damage to everyone, but for each enemy that's been defeated since he's been active, he's going to deal damage an additional time up to 5 times, right? And then if he defeats anybody, he's going to gain even more damage, which is going to make his basic more lethal. So every time he says he's going to be dealing more damage, and it's just absolute mess and powerhouse. Han Solo, right? If he gets hit, he has this additional counter chance, right? Which means he's going to be using his basic more, which means he's going to be running through these more. And then there's CLS, and what makes CLS really, really good is you're going to use this right off the bat, which is going to give you 1 stack of translation. You're going to use this right after, which is going to give you 2 stacks. And then when C3PO takes his turn, what he's going to do is he's going to put the 3rd stack on Commander Luke, and then when Commander Luke uses his basic, he's basically going to reset the cooldowns on the specials, and he's just going to go right on back through. Right, and every time he takes a turn, he's calling Chewbacca to assist because you're going to try and get that guarded mechanic on CLS. Right, so to kind of show how this team works, we're going to go hop into some arena. As for C3PO, you want bottom speed, bottom potency. Alright, so we're going to come over here and do this. So this is a bad matchup because we're constantly attacking out of turn. Star Killer is just, well, Star Killer, so we don't want to deal with that today. Here we go. Don't know if we'll win, don't know if we'll lose, but we'll go after these guys here and see where we end up. Yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be a losing fight for us, but like I said, we're going to see where we end up in it. But yeah, so I just want to highlight some of the really important parts of this team and what makes it one of the best teams in the game. Alright, so coming on into the game. Alright, so we get stun right off the bat. We're going to put our stun over here on Yoda. Skip a couple frames. That's alright. Alright, so Yoda now. He is stunned, and we got rid of the Savior ability. This can be dodged, so those evasions are important, but we are going to try and get Chewbacca over there on him. Alright, so CLS got marked. That's alright. Doing okay. Alright, let's see. Now let's do this. Can we get the stun? Nope. Alright, let's try and pull some of this off CLS. Alright, get rid of all these buffs over here. Alright, they're all going to counterattack, which is really good. We want to get Jolie out of here because he can revive pretty much the whole enemy team. So, well, not pretty much. He can revive the whole enemy team. And now we just need to pick them off one at a time. So since they're not under the evade, we'll go get Bastila over here. Alright, she's already pretty low. Like I said, this team has really, really good damage output. Right? Alright, all got dodged. I think Bastila took a couple hits there. Right. Boom. We're not going to be able to get the stun on it just because of that tenacity up. He decided AoE. We decided we're going to hit him back. They're going to try a new strategy and go after Han, but at this point it's way too late. The damage output on this team is just crazy. See? And then we're just going to take out Revan here. So I was not expecting it to go this well. Just because they had Datacron, but it did go well, and very happy about that. And that should do it. Boom. We win. So that's really kind of the important parts of this team. A lot of damage from these three up here. Constant assist from Chupio. And yeah, so glad you guys got to see this team, how they work. Really hope you enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please like, subscribe, share the video, interact with it in some way. Yeah, if you want to support my content, please go down into the description below. Hit the link for my Patreon if you want to get connected. There's a link down there to my Discord server. So if you guys want to learn more about the game, kind of some of the more interactions like that, without having to wait for the next video, please go there. and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.